Please, can you go ahead and start testing the water? Remember, I said this one is from Shornville, this is East London, and then this one is Bishop.
100%. So what I will do, I'll just pour this in here. So we use an electrolyzer. So this thing is called a precipitator. What it does, it just separates water from what is not water. I'll switch it on now.
So when you're saying what is water from not water, is that particles, acid,
Correct.
toxins?
Yes. So there's actually a lot of things inside the water that we are unable to see, smell, or taste. So what this thing will do, it will actually show you what's inside that's not supposed to be in there. I'll put this here so that we know that this goes with this. I'll switch it on. So there's a lot of acid mine drainage that is being pumped into SA's water sources. And that, in actual sense, causes cancer. Because you have got a lot of uranium inside the tap water, then that causes a lot of cancer in the lives of people. Because in South Africa now, we no longer have a current engineering solution. So with no current engineering solution, that means we can't get quality water. And if you can't get quality water, that means we are down to dying because of the water that we drink. We get a lot of acid, we get a lot of fatigue, there's fast face, constipation, irritable impatience, anxiety, depression, short attention span, poor sleep, food cravings, drink cravings, only because of the water that we drink.
Now, I'm starting to see it's boiling, the one that's from East London.
Right.
It's starting to boil,
Right.
but also I'm seeing particles that are brown coming out.
So you get a lot of endocrine disruptors, you get a lot of chemicals, you get a lot of there's biological pollutants. There's, I don't know if you know of a report that came out on Sunday Times on the 13th of July, 2025, that said there's high levels of ARVs. There's actually ARVs that are found in SA tap water. So I don't know if you are aware of the article, but that showed us to go an extra mile to check as to what is inside the water that is being drank. So there's a lot of hormone pills, there's a lot of there's unmetabolized birth control medication pills inside the water that we drink. So that being said, it's a lot of things that we can't say. Some of them we are not even aware what are those things. But there's a lot of things inside the tap water that that are getting us sick. In actual sense.
And now I'm also seeing the water is now starting, the top part of this water coming up, rising. I'm seeing brown. What does that signal when this brown?
So that is 25% of what we flush in our bathrooms.
Sewage.
Correct. So with no current engineering solution, we are down to recycling any water that is being used. Being the water that you bath with, the water that you flush in your bathroom, the water that runs down the sink, that water comes back to the tap water that we drink.
Okay. And now let's test the Bishop water, please. Let's get to the Bishop water while this one keeps boiling. The one from East London keeps boiling. That's the water from Bishop that we're pouring in now, Stephen. So now so that we're able to test with a new one, I'm guessing.
Yeah, 100%. So
yes, here we go. We're going to use a new one. And then we're going to also show from filtered water that's clean, how the water is actually supposed to look like here. I'll assist you here by pouring this side while you're busy setting up that side. And then you'll let me know if it's enough. There we go. And that's the clean filtered water that people have been buying.
All right, and then I'll just put them together.
Okay.
So they precipitate. I think I'm just going to move them more to the side.
Okay, sure.
There we go.
So it's closer.
Yes.
And now we're switching on, Stephen, for the water. Now, remember the one on the left, my left that is, or rather even your left, that's going to be the clean water, filtered water. The one on the right that's starting to bubble is the one that we actually got from East London, from Bishop. Now, I'm seeing here, Demoso,
Yes.
there's now, this water's turned green now.
Yeah. So
Let me just put it up so that the viewers are able to see. It's actually quite hot.
Yeah, it is. So those are the heavy metals. So you hear the temperature on the glass tells you that there's a lot of heavy metals inside the water, and the heavy metals are the ones that are cancer causing. So basically, when you get an electrolyzer that makes the water to be as hot as this, then that tells you that heavy metals in. There's you get things like there's uranium, there's aluminum, arsenic, cadmium, iron, lead, manganese. So all those things, they are in the water and they are not properly cleaned because in actual sense, our water treatment plants are not functioning properly. So that is just the honest truth that we need to know, that people do not know, and no one is telling us anything.
And I'm also seeing that I saw in one of the posters that are here where they're showing that water that's not fit for human or animal consumption. The picture looks a lot like the one we took from East London, the water from East London, green with brown. And it's also talking about the sewage, chlorine, which we heard and we were told has been continually poured in the Bisho one just to centralize it, even though the control room is not working. Now we're seeing the Bisho one already starting to get red and brown.
Yes. So what is actually happening in the plants is that the chlorine the chlorine is meant to actually help neutralize the acid that is in the tap water. Because the color blue, so all these colors, they actually it's actually the current Western Basin. It actually shows you the amount of uranium that is in the tap water in layers. So the pH is sitting at -3. And the human body is supposed to have a pH level of 7.365. So your body is supposed to be alkaline throughout because of the water that you drink.
All right, so Stephen, we just want to show you, because we did conduct some tests off camera before. Now I want to show you the end results that we got. Now this is the water from Bisho, Stephen. And you could see that the particles have now gone all the way down. And Temuso was telling us that this shows particles of sewage, actually, and that's the Bisho water. And then the next one, that's orange-brown, that's from Shonville. So this is currently what some of the water quality is looking like when it is tested. Now, it is unseen to man's eyes, through man's eyes. It needs to be tested. Now, this is the filtered water that we had tested as well. As you can see, quite clean. But if you look at all the rest, whether it's the first tests, the repetitive tests, it's more or less the same.
Yeah.
Sure. And Sipa, perhaps we could get a conversation about what happens if you were to boil the water that we can see is unclean, impure. I mean, would boiling it make it safe?
And that's quite a good question, Stephen, because that's the announcement that was issued by the Buffalo City municipality, asking people, Temuso, to boil the water. How does that help? Is it helpful? Does it actually work, boiling water before consumption?
So basically what happens is when you boil the water, you're only killing the germs and the bacteria. You're not even close to taking the uranium out of the water. You're not even close to taking the sewage out of the water, and you're not even close to taking all the biological pollutants out of the water. So boiling the water only kills the germs and the bacteria.